Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Yodi, or Brian, and welcome to this quick little vlog post. I promised you guys I would do a recap of what happened in the woods back during my creek hike video, and I'm going to link that video up somewhere. It's on the card that's popping up right now. And at the end of that video I had something really weird happen. I wanted to tell you guys about it, and we'll just kind of leave it out there and let you guys decide what you want. We're going to kind of be getting into a realm that can be a little divisive and people feel very opinionated about. I just want you guys to remember that this is just my experience that we're talking about here. So yeah, like I just have what happened to me. I don't know exactly what happened, but it was an interesting sequence of events. So in the video, near the end, I stopped because I said I felt like I was missing something, that maybe I was walking over a deer shed or I was missing something cool. And I'll have that feeling sometimes in the woods, and I'll just stop, and I usually will find something or pick something up, or like if I'm mushroom hunting, for instance, I might find a mushroom, or I've been walking in the woods and stopped and looked around and I found an old bottle, broken, unfortunately, but it was there. My peripheral vision, my subconscious, picked it up and told me it was there, and I was just stopped and respected that intuition. So that had happened, and I'd stopped, and I wanted to do a short bit with a bit of the pipe, and just sort of, I thought it'd be cool if I could find what I just said I might be missing on camera. And I just started that clip, and then everything stopped. And it stopped because my battery pack, which was attached to the camera, as well as the camera itself, went to zero. It was a complete power drain and a battery drain on both devices. On one, I can understand. On both, this is where we get into the unusual. So the camera was at 30% and it was charging, and the battery pack had 3 out of 4 lights. Now I know that those are both reliable pieces of equipment, and in those stages of charge would have lasted me at least another hour. Why they drained, I have no idea. I said at the end of that video that it was weird but not unusual, or yeah, that it wasn't unusual to me, and that's because there's other times where I have seen complete battery drains, and that's when I have done paranormal investigations, which I've done with a group of people called SidePro, and I'm going to link their channel down below. And they do a lot of urban exploration right now, but they also do paranormal stuff. And I've been interested in paranormal stuff for a long time. It goes way back, and 20 years at least, maybe even 30. And I've been on a lot of investigations and ghost hunts, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, so you see where I'm going with this. The only time I've ever seen a battery drain of 2 electronic devices at the same time, where they both go to zero for no reason, no apparent reason, is when I've been out on an investigation. It happened to me once in a graveyard. It happened to me once at a location that was reported to be haunted, and it has a long history of having experiences there, and things happen. So when I saw the battery drains, I was like, what's going on? And I was looking at my equipment, and this is what I needed almost a week and a half to kind of get my brain around and talk to you guys about it, to see if I even wanted to mention it. What happened next is, as I was looking at my equipment, and I would say probably within 30 seconds to 40 seconds of me looking at the equipment, there was a wind that came out of nowhere, and it blew right at me, and it was like this swirling, gusting wind, and the leaves were actually lifting up off the ground. Not too far, but they were up around my knees. And this only lasted maybe 5 seconds. Now, the day had not been windy. Like, this came out of nowhere. Swirled around me, swirled around the area, leaves were kind of flying around, and then boom. Just went back to just as quiet as it is in the woods right now. Normal. I don't know what happened. I know that there were 3 separate events: A plus B equals C, or A plus B plus C equals D. It equals D. I don't know what D is. The 3 events are, I got a ping, or I felt like something was around that I was missing. I was focused on antler sheds. It could have been something else. I have the battery drain, which I've only seen happen like that in unusual situations anyway. And then I have this weird wind gust out of nowhere. And if you go back and watch that video, the wind was pretty, there was maybe a little bit of wind noise with a strong breeze, but there was not strong gusts that would whip around like that. And of course my camera was dead, so I couldn't show you guys that. And yeah, so that's what happened. It was unusual. I never felt anything malicious or weird. I didn't feel any ill intent. And it was over and done in 5 seconds. It did kind of give me goosebumps and, you know, the shivers and the heebie-jeebies. And people that, I did want to talk about this. If you've spent a lot of time in the woods, you've had the heebie-jeebies. You've had that sense of being watched, or you've had that sense of maybe something wasn't right, or maybe you weren't supposed to go down a particular trail, or you felt weird. I've talked to people who felt like they've had somebody in camp with them, or that somebody was walking with them. I think if you spend, like I said, if you spend a lot of time in the woods, you will have had at least one of these experiences. You know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the heebie-jeebies. The woo, ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call it, or just, and you can't let your imagination run wild, but there is a certain weirdness that happens. And that was definitely one of the moments of high weirdness that I've ever had in the woods, for no apparent reason. And, you know, hey, I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you've had any other weird events like this, or have had similar experiences when you've been out hiking or in the woods. I'm definitely going back there. I'm definitely going to go back there with a voice recorder, and I'm going to go back there, and I may not record the whole thing, but I may go sit there for a while and just see what happens. Probably nothing. I'm sure some of you are like, oh, it's just a sequence of events. It was just circumstance. It was just synchronicity. It just happened. Don't worry about it. And I'm not really worried about it. It's just, I know how I felt at the time it happened. And that what marks it for me as a pretty incredible experience. So, yeah, let me know down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks for getting this far. I never had any intent of some of my paranormal interests bleeding or blending over into this channel, but hey, I'll talk more about that if you guys want. I'm fascinated by the subject and I love to talk about it. So I would be glad to talk more about it if you guys want me to go there, or even talk about interactions in the woods and things around old home sites, and, you know, kind of blend it together on a couple of videos. I don't mind. I think it'd be fun, but I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, thanks for listening, and get out, get some dirt time if you can, and get outdoors. It's good for you. Thanks again. Bye. All right.